Kendrick Lamar's $75 million rap empire just solidified its place as the house on the hill when it comes to the rap game. But he also owns multiple million-dollar properties, a car collection that bridges through time, and one of the most iconic custom pieces. Let's start with his house, because if we've learned anything at all these past few weeks, it's that real estate is not exempt when it comes to the rap beef. Kendrick's property basket has some choice pieces, enough to catch Drake's attention at least, because one of them came up in his song, Family Matters. The $8.6 million Brooklyn Heights triplex in question is one of Kendrick's flashiest buys and boasts 3,140 square feet with 4 bedrooms, 3.5 bathrooms, 18-foot ceilings, reclaimed heartwood pine floors, floor-to-ceiling windows, and 2,000 square feet of outdoor space with a private rooftop terrace overlooking the East River. The views from the home alone are enough to make anyone move across the country, and it helps that it boasts a celebrity clientele like Ed Sheeran and Amy Schumer. But going by Kendrick's lethal response, I think it's safe to say that Kendrick may have politely laughed at one too many Amy Schumer jokes. Kendrick also owns a $523,000 home in Eastville, California. The home is an average 3,529 square foot American home with 4 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms and was Kendrick's first purchase. You could technically drive right by it without ever knowing it housed one of the hottest rappers of our century. But you gotta give it to Kendrick to make hit after hit, all while cruising through life like the average American, albeit with a hefty safety net. This came in handy when he decided that luxury living wasn't so bad after all with a $9.7 million Manhattan Beach home in 2019. The 3-story house with 5,350 square feet has just enough room and stunning water views from the balconies. This upgrade was followed by putting his first family home on the market for a little over $800,000. However, it's unclear whether he made the sale. That's growth for you. Kendrick's most impressive pick is his $15.9 million Bel Air estate in Eastgate, Los Angeles. The 1951 build is the perfect blend between traditional and modern design concepts and is the handiwork of revered architect Edward Fickett. The property boasts 8,000 square feet of living space sitting on 3/4 of an acre with a main house, 2-level guest house, glass walls, light red brick accents, and skylights. Kendrick's real estate is nothing short of impressive, but when you are going up against the opponent with a $100 million property value known for its NBA-regulated indoor basketball court, marble and lime interiors, and Swarovski crystal chandeliers, I think the only way to win is not to play fair. And Kendrick sure did when he responded to his jab with a cover art insinuating the house was flagged for possible sexual offenders. And that's one way to bring the property value down. Not to mention the ensuing drive-by shooting and the fact that randoms seem to be walking in and out of the property like they own the place. It's basically a public parking at this point. That alone's gotta have him in his neighbor's bad books. Talking of drive-bys, Kendrick may have sat this one out, and it's not for lack of a garage filled with rides to get the job done. One thing that's constant throughout Kendrick's style is that he loves himself a classic, from the homes he picks down to the cars he cruises around in. His first car was a $35,000 low-bodied 1992 Cadillac Seville that he followed up with a collector's dream, a 1964 Chevrolet Impala costing $30,000. He also owns a $28,000 1990 Cadillac Brougham that he featured in his King Kunta music video. Kendrick has consistently shown love to the lowrider culture of the 1950s, but looks like the Range Rover Sport may have been exactly what he needed to give himself a glimpse of what he was missing out on. Kendrick already did that because he loved the car so much that he name-dropped it in his music multiple times. Along with all the free promo, he only paid $75,000 for it. Kendrick also copped the Mercedes class worth $123,000 and the 3-cylinder gasoline electric motor BMW i8 worth at least $145,000. Kendrick's most recent addition to his collection is the Buick Regal 2012, which was a nostalgic buy. According to him, his father drove him home from the hospital in a similar car, jamming to Big Daddy Kane. And that's how you know that he's really about the game. And now that he mastered it, he can have both old school and new age luxury rides. Kendrick isn't the flashiest of rappers. However, his accessories seem to make just enough noise even without the allure of a huge price tag attached to them. Some of his most popular pieces are the Martinelli's metal choker and chain bracelet from his Damn Tour, the Terran Thomas Archie ring featured in his Humble and DNA music videos, the Han Cholo's Medusa ring and Pyramid ring, and the 18-karat yellow gold Rolex President Day Date. I know what you're thinking. Those don't sound too impressive for a rapper. Well, there's some truth to that. But that's because he was saving his money for the real deal, and what is to date one of the most iconic pieces donned by a rapper. Kendrick Crown of Thorns set him back a staggering $3 million and took 4 artisans 10 months and a total of 1,300 hours to bring to life. The crown is a creation of Kendrick Lamar and Dave Free in collaboration with Tiffany & Company. The concept was inspired by Jean Schlumberger's thorn brooch, which was created in 1947. The crown features a high-polished titanium base, 8,000 diamonds set by hand in a cobblestone pattern totaling 137 carats, and 50 handcrafted thorns of varying shapes. Kendrick's Crown of Thorns not only pays homage to those that came before him, but also represents artistic prowess, humility, and perseverance. This piece debuted on the cover of the album Mr. Morales and the Big Steppers and has made appearances at some of his performances. But if you ask me, one iconic piece is a lot better than a collection of chains all bearing your name. But who's really counting anyway? Kendrick's discography to date is enough to mark his place and leave an impact in the rap game. In his own response to the Big Three debate, he made it clear that he was the obvious reigning king. However, Kendrick cast his nets wider and took on a more entrepreneurial role as a co-founder of the company PG Lang. The music and visual media company continues to climb the ranks with high-value collaborators like Lightphone and Converse and continuous awards as an independent agency. Kendrick didn't have to travel across state lines to find his place in the Hall of Fame. However, he had to work his way across the tracks, and that's no small feat. And for that reason, Kendrick has not only remained humble, but he has also taken up for the causes that are close to his heart and aimed at uplifting his community both on a local and global scale. Kendrick has donated $50,000 to his old high school and directed all the proceeds of his 5-stop world tour towards Habitat for Humanity and the city of Compton, along with thousands of donations to the Red Cross. Kendrick continues his philanthropic works to advocate for racial equality and mental health awareness. I'm sure you've heard them say that it's lonely at the top, but Kendrick seems to have worked his way around that by bringing his people along for the climb. All stemming from partnering with an old friend to launch a company to purchasing a 4-bedroom, $2.65 million home with a 4K theater and gym for his family while he was living in a $500,000 home. Kendrick also gifted a Toyota Camry to his sister as a graduation gift to launch her into the next step of her life. And while the internet had a lot to say about his chosen gift, Kendrick's sister was nothing short of ecstatic. This last one might be a little controversial, but judging by the fact that the man's got the entire internet behind him and 3 top 10s on the Billboard, Kendrick might have owned his rival Drake this time. And all it took was a little patience to let the ops get cocky. But in Drake's defense, he had at least 7 people on his neck, and now the fans don't trust him either.